Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Invalid Nit-Wits podcast. Round of applause, please. Or not, from either of you.
I tried clapping, it didn't go through.
Pick up, fuck. Alright, that's fine.
I clapped. It was just awkwardly
And this is why we're the invalid Nit-Wits.
Yeah, we
we
just can't piece things
over?
together. We just can't piece things together. No, we're not starting over. No, this is the intro.
Okay.
This is how we're starting the podcast.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry you guys have to deal with an hour of us. You have to deal with an hour of us. This is your choice to be here. That's all I'm saying.
You wanted this.
I want to say they wanted this. It's just we decided to do this.
We're not
you wanted to listen.
They wanted.
This is your fault. This is your fault. Okay. Yeah, I have a couple questions lined up. Yeah, we'll start with the one that just kind of includes all of us, I guess. I have. What was your first love when it comes to video games, like video game wise? Like, what was the first video game that you thought was like, this is what will bring me back to my childhood?
Definitely for me, Assassin's Creed 3, because that was like the first game that I was able to finish without getting bored of it, like somewhere along the line. Just
Yeah,
like
right. Assassin's Creed games can be so tedious, like especially if like Black Flag. That takes so long because you have to like sail everywhere. I recently just figured out you could actually fast travel. I don't know if I knew that like when I first played it, and I just forgot about it or not.
Yeah, there were a bunch of games I played like that in the past where you had to like do very tedious travel, such as some of the Legend of Zelda games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just couldn't. I just can't deal with doing like one thing for
just
a long
can't stay
time.
concentrated on it. Yeah, I understand that. That's how I am right now with like video games. Like back in the day, I was like I'd play like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Actually, I recently played it over again, and that was definitely one of my old childhood games that I would go back to. But one of mine is definitely Legend of Zelda Wind Waker because it was just so fun and it kept my interest and everything. And I don't know, just something about it was just kept my focus.
Yeah,
and it's always that game I can go back.
I remember watching you play that. You like knew a bunch of things about it, like weird glitches and stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Melissa, did you have any favorite?
Are we talking about like when we were a kid, or like ones that make us
like
feel
the first game?
Yeah, like your first love when it comes to video games. Like this is the game that was like, oh my god, I could play this over and over and over again.
Yeah, like that.
I don't know. I really liked Pokemon Snap. I don't know if that counts, but
it's a video game.
Yeah, I used to like retake pictures a lot, so I guess that kind of counts as like over and over and over again. I'd play the same like map and try and get a better picture because that's just kind of the point of Pokemon Snap. So I was really excited when they came out with the new one for the Switch.
I see.
Yeah, I saw videos of like the original Pokemon Snap, and when they came out with the new one, I wanted to play it, but I just never got around to buying it.
It's always really hard to tell when it comes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's always really hard to tell when it comes to like your favorite childhood video game, because like another part that holds dearly to me is like the old Call of Duty Black Ops. Those ones just held like a different. They just hold a different memory, especially when it comes to like zombies.
There is a game that comes like a close second for me. Nowadays I can't remember what it's called, but it was this game where you couldn't die and you were like a fire wizard guy, and yeah, you just like went around the world.
The sorcerer.
Like burning enemies to ashes.
Oh, actually another one. Oh, what's it called? It was kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but you were just the one character, and there was like you just free roamed, and I can't remember what it's called.
A game
but you were
like Grand
like,
Theft Auto?
it was like Grand Theft Auto, but you had to like
Saints Row?
put the mafia in their place. No, it was like a really old game. I can't remember what it was called. Something Kane, I
Yakuza.
think. What?
Yakuza is a game that was
The kazoo?
was released a while ago by the company that made Sonic,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I guess my next question is kind of just like, this is kind of just directed for me and Alyssa, and like I was saying to you, Jacob, earlier about how if you wanted to like, I don't know if it has or it hasn't at all, but how do you think streaming affected like your day-to-day life?
It definitely keeps me up later.
You know, that's fair. That is actually fair.
True, true. Also, I guess, I don't know because it's Jakey who is Jakey, but
Jakey,
I
who's
feel like
Jakey?
he pays more attention to the stream. Like, he has to be more
Jacob has a
attentive
third
when we're
eye.
streaming because he's
Yeah,
the moderator.
I always try watching the chat, but sometimes I do get distracted. Like, if I just need to do something else real quick, I'll get distracted and then forget to look at chat for
Bro,
a while.
when chat's
That's
typing to me,
okay.
and I'm sitting there and I'm about to ace, I couldn't give more than two fucks about chat at the moment.
I try to pay attention, but I also get distracted.
That's why I try to yell at you guys to drink your water and stuff like that. Or why I sometimes repeat what people have said, if you guys didn't notice it for a while.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, oh shit, you right. You did say that. But yeah, I think it definitely has a huge effect on my day-to-day life. I think about, I've recently been, not recently, but ever since like I've started growing a lot more, I've been thinking more and more recent. Oh, I wouldn't say recent. I want to say recent for some reason, but I've been thinking more and more about like video games I could stream or certain games I don't want to play yet, so that I can stream them for people's entertainment. And then
Yeah,
I also
like,
think like, damn, I wish I could play this more, but I have to stream it because I've already started streaming it. But I do
yeah,
enjoy streaming games for, I mean, the games I haven't played, because it adds, because it goes to the VODs and I could like rewatch it if I wanted to. It holds captures and like funny moments and like glitches. Like recently we had a glitch in like Dying Light where this little child's head was literally just spinning around in like circles and rotating like a gyroscope.
yeah. That's definitely like a perk of streaming. The fact that it catches things and people can clip it, like
Yeah,
like insane shots in Valorant that I've seen you guys make, or glitches like you just said.
yeah,
Um, and you definitely do think a lot about like games that you need to stream later or want to stream later and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure if you want me saying any of those games, so can I say one of them?
sure.
Like, you want to stream Pico Park, um, but you also really want to play it too.
Yeah,
Um,
that's definitely one of them where I'm just like, yeah, I want to play this because I know what it's like. I've seen gameplay on it, but I think it'd be so funny to stream it for like the first time I play it, because Turtles already played it.
yeah, Turtle
I'm
didn't wait for us.
sorry. I didn't know it was a game that just had to be streamed, you know? I didn't know it
um,
was a game
You're a
that people
streamer
wanted
now.
to
Every
watch.
game you have to stream.
I don't think that's quite true, Jake.
I've also been trying to like think about like scheduling, like, all right, this could be like a solo stream, like this is gonna be a horror stream, this could be like a cooperative stream, this could be like all in, like everybody kind of stream,
But
interactive stream and stuff like that.
that reminds me,
Mhm.
when are you gonna stream the next episode of Five Nights at Freddy's?
I don't know, Jacob. I have a lot of games to stream.
I, you streamed it during my class last time. I want to see
Next
it.
time don't be in class.
Um, I guess my answer to the question is more of like I think about it a lot on a day-to-day basis, but it's less of like what game I'm gonna play and more of like things that I can add to it. But then I make a list and it piles up and then I never end up
Oh
adding
yeah,
them or end
100%.
up
I get
doing
that.
it
I
like
get that.
a
Yeah.
lot later. Like when I was working on like emotes a lot, or I started making like channel badges, but I haven't even gotten close to like finalizing them. Um, like different point redemption, stuff like that. Um,
Um,
and then just thinking about like uh yeah, pretty much just different things I want to add, like overlay wise, stream wise, all of
Definitely.
that.
I've been thinking about like I definitely can agree to that because I'm like, oh, I could add more channel redemption, like point redemptions. I could add more emotes. I could finally like get like tier 2 and 3 emotes so that people actually have a reason to do that. And then like a different overlay. Like I've been thinking about doing overlays for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to them
yeah.
because like
And
you said, it just piles up.
um, I have something to add to my answer too. Um, so I remember like when you guys first started streaming, it might have just been Jaden at the time actually. Um, that there was a lot of extra work for me to do. Like I spent hours trying to make websites and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Um, uh, and setting up the Discord also was
Oh yeah,
relatively
we
a lot of
we
work. Not really though.
we had a blast, a whole
Yeah,
whole lot of
but it
fun
was fun,
setting
but
up a
it was
Discord.
still work.
Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fun, but there was definitely like issues that we were running into, and they were kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Like permission issues where people couldn't talk, even though they were in the channels.
Yeah, I think that was just like because we didn't set the right uh like permissions technically, I guess.
I thought we had the right permissions. I don't know what the error was, but yeah, there was definitely like a big error there.
I think we had a few things that weren't checked for them to actually speak.
Ah.
People watching the podcast right now, where are the funny moments? And this is where we just get to laughing because now it's just weird.
Okay. Alyssa, you said you had a topic?
I was just saying more of like talking about like conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear about the conspiracy theory that Mrs. Puff killed her husband?
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah,
On SpongeBob?
yeah, on SpongeBob. Apparently, there's like a conspiracy theory right now that Mrs. Puff killed her husband because
What's the
in
theory?
because right now, like not right now, in one of the episodes where SpongeBob was like constantly taking his test over and over again. I don't know if you remember that one, but
Yeah, I
she was
remember.
at some point she was like getting so frustrated with him that she was like, I want to pass him, but if she passes him, then she was like talking about how she would have to move towns again. With that whole against theory is that before she was talking about that, she was talking with Mr. Krabs. I think that was the episode where Mr. Krabs like fell in love with Mrs. Puff or whatever, and uh
I actually forgot about that episode for a while.
and Mr. Krabs asked SpongeBob where Mr. Puff is, and then SpongeBob goes, Mrs. Puff doesn't like to talk about that. So with that, like there's like this whole conspiracy theory on how she would have to move towns again, that she's moved towns before completely, and that she doesn't like to talk about Mr. Puff, all these things. I don't remember like specific details. I'm sure you guys could find it on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, there's a conspiracy theory that Mrs. Puff killed her husband.
While you were talking about this theory, I looked it up. Mrs. Puff killed her husband, and it came up with something saying that there's actually an episode where you can see him on a lamp, killed by humans. He was turned into a lamp cover,
Oh,
apparently.
Okay.
I also looked it up while you were talking about it, and I found a Reddit post that I haven't really had the chance to read yet, but I can read it out loud if you would like.
Sure, send it.
Okay, so this is posted by Missouri Noob on Reddit. It says Miss Puff killed her husband in SpongeBob SquarePants. If you didn't know the show SpongeBob and you've been living under a rock like Patrick, this isn't your kind of thing to read. If you're a fan of SpongeBob SquarePants, check this out. So people were making theories that Miss Puff killed her husband randomly without much motive. I said, what's the point of making a theory without knowing how she did it? I looked through the theory and it was talking about how Mrs. Puff was obsessed with murdering. I started diving in the fact and I found some results. Mrs. Puff was taking a ride with her husband during fishing season. She wasn't having fun with her husband, so she murdered him by hooking him up to one of the fishing things, I'm assuming, the
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 hooks.
hook,
hooks.
Yeah.
the fishing
So
things.
she murdered him by hooking him up to one and letting him get sent to a factory where he became a lamp and got sold in the gift shop. Of course, Miss Puff had to move, change her ID, and become another person. That's where we see him on one clip of an episode where Mr. Krabs dated her. Notice how the quotes turned out? What happened to Mr. Puff? Mr. Krabs asked. That was the scene where it showed him, and SpongeBob said, she doesn't like to talk about it. Mrs. Puff doesn't like to talk about how she killed him.
That's
Now
quite a jump
skipping
there.
Now skipping over to when SpongeBob got a boat since Mrs. Puff was tired of him and gave him a license. She had terrible nightmares of him wrecking the whole city and causing havoc. Then Mrs. Puff said that she had to move, change her name, and start a new life. When you hear her say, no, not again. Not again? What do you mean, not again? Doesn't it sum up now? She really ran away from killing her husband, huh? Comment on this post to tell me some more of your ideas. Thanks. So that's pretty much what Jakey, I think, was reading. Probably
Yeah.
the same thing.
I did not understand where those jumps in logic come from. Like, oh, she said this. She killed her husband. Yes, that must be it. The only conclusion.
Kind of just like their thoughts noted. Like, oh, that's suspicious that she would do that, and less of a this is evidence that she killed her husband.
Yeah, just like definite. It has to be it. It has to be true. um, there was another SpongeBob-related conspiracy theory that this reminded me of. That SpongeBob actually takes place where Nuke landed. Um, that Russia sent out, like one of the most powerful nukes in the world, in real life, was sent to this small little island for testing.
Yep.
And there's a theory that that's what makes it so that they can talk and stuff. This nuke that went off.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay, I have to sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Ah, God bless me. Um, sorry. Any other crazy conspiracies that you guys have heard?
I mean, there's
Um,
one that I mentioned earlier that I don't think you would like me mentioning.
Yeah, let's let's stay away from that one. uh,
let's see.
Yeah, we should have came more prepared for
what
this.
do you mean? We're very prepared. It's just silence. You gotta enjoy silence every now and then.
The sound of silence.
Now remembered what you guys were talking about with what um Jakey mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I
Can't
look
believe you don't want to
at
hear about
conspiracy
that
theories,
one.
and they're all pretty political.
Yeah, we'll try to stay away from political ones.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
the viewer, if you're watching this on, it'll definitely probably be on YouTube before Spotify. But if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment of what you want us to talk about. Like if you want to know more about us, if you want to know what happens more behind the scenes, go ahead and leave that comment. If you're listening on Spotify, download it. What are you doing? That's gonna help us in the long run.
Aiden, I have a question mostly for you.
What's up?
What do you think is like the craziest thing that you did as a kid? Just like I don't mean like just out of childness,
You really want
stupid.
to put this out there, huh?
I don't just mean like out of stupid childishness. I just mean like weird project or anything like that.
Um, that's a good question, actually. Um, I attempted to. So, have you all seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Okay, so I when I was a kid, I attempted to build a glider. I jumped off the roof. And I knocked the wind out of me so fucking hard. I literally was like just sitting there for at least, it felt like an eternity, but it was probably like 20, 30 seconds of me just like reaching for air.
How did your parents respond?
To be honest, I don't think they know.
Oh.
Because like we had an old house where we had a door that led straight to like the roof, and it was literally, so there was the main floor, and then you went upstairs, and directly as soon as you reached the top, the second floor, to the right was the doorway to it's like a rooftop, and then you're able to just climb on top of the roof and go wherever you want from there. But I wasn't, the spot that it led you to was like the deck, and I didn't feel like jumping off into the deck. So I went to the other side of the house and jumped off the roof into the grass. What about you guys?
Did the glider work?
No.
Just had to make sure. Well, like you, I have tried making a glider before, me and Ben, which for those of you in the podcast who don't know, Ben is a friend of ours. But yeah, we tried making a glider once, and we learned that to make a proper one, it costs way too much.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
way too much. Although we did try making a bike out of like one of those electric saws. A motorbike.
Oh yep.
Also. In this one we actually did start making. We like placed down a wood platform and then set the saw there, like on top of the platform. And then we screwed the platform into like the bike.
Okay.
And so basically the saw would run, it had the chain around where the blade usually is. We took out the blade and put the chain around there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the saw, you turn it on and it was supposed to make the wheel spin really fast. We had one that sort of worked, but it spun too fast that Ben was scared of getting on it, so
Nice.
and then the other saw we tried using that had less power to it. It just didn't work at all. We needed more torque.
I found another conspiracy theory. But it's actually been disproven, but I still think it's kind of interesting. Um, and everybody's kind of heard it, but about like Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb being Phineas's dad.
Oh yeah,
Phineas
yeah,
Candace's dad. It's actually been disproved from the creator of the show.
You never trust the creator's words when it comes to disproving theories.
yeah.
In the
No,
end,
he has
it's
a
the fans
point.
who decide what's correct.
I suppose. Dan Povenmire actually, he said something about. I'm trying to find the point in the page of what he said.
Was this theory mostly based off the fact that they both invent things and that Phineas has a large nose like Doofenshmirtz? Is that like the basis of the theory?
It's more of like they're more triangular shaped heads versus if you think of like Ferb or um
Like, they're
his
actually
dad.
like their dad. Yeah, that has like that square rectangle head.
Yeah, that British head. Just saying, they're both British and they both have rectangular heads.
Although
Okay.
Ferb's dad isn't his biological dad.
Wait, was Ferb
What?
adopted?
No, Ferb. Okay, so Ferb and Phineas are like step siblings.
So who? What?
Yeah. So Phineas's biological father is unknown as of the end of the show. Most likely, it's someone we've never met on the show, or perhaps it's one of those random people of Danville. Ultimately, the point is that Phineas loves Lawrence Fletcher as his dad, and mixed families can be as loving, nurturing, and healthy as traditional nuclear families.
I don't believe it.
Nuclear families. That just makes me think the family is destructive. Like, I know the actual meaning, but still, why is it called that?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm doing the
What?
Wordle right now.
You're doing the Wordle?
Yeah. And so it's a letter. It starts with T and it has OER in it.
Thor.
It can't include WASH and P.
I'm actually going to return back to the topic that I said real quick
All right, go
because
for
I
it.
just remembered another thing I made. That I made once. So in my yard, there's this soft spot where the garden was. At home, and
Yep.
I took it. I called Ben over, and me and him started shoveling out the garden, like 3 or 4 feet deep. And then we made seats and stuff, and we made it into a hot tub. We brought
Nice.
we got pumps and stuff, and yeah, we just turned it all into like a hot tub during the summer.
You're creative kids. I was not. I was that kid that just always like went home and played video games.
My parents got a tiny bit mad at me for that one, though.
I don't know. I'd probably be impressed with my kid. Be like, damn, you made a whole hot tub.
But yeah, we even covered the stairs and stuff with a tarp so that it wouldn't just be like dirt, and so that the water wouldn't escape through the dirt.
Yeah, yeah. I think the reason I feel like Ben's talked to me actually about that. Um, but what is your guys' like wildest like nighttime adventure? If you have one.
Nighttime adventure?
Yeah.
I need to look up what
I
that means
can't
real
speak
quick.
about mine
Like it
on
like a nighttime adventure. Like it could be like
podcast.
recent like driving or like something you did as a kid.
Get bit
Um,
by my dog.
A nighttime adventure, nice. Bit by dog.
Hey, that adventure led to 3 more adventures to the hospital.
That was wildest night of my life. What the fuck?
I mean, when you have fingers being put inside of your head for the next 2 or 3 weeks, it becomes a memorable adventure, all right.
Listen, do you have one?
I have one, but I can't speak about it on podcast.
You have
Also,
another one?
I got the Wordle.
Oh, you
Do
got
I
the
have
Wordle?
another what? Oh,
Do you
Nighttime
have like a
another
different
adventure.
story?
another like nighttime adventure story?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, while you think about that, I wouldn't say craziest. I wouldn't say it was crazy or anything, but uh, me and a couple of my friends, when I was what, maybe in intermediate school, so like I want to say like fourth grade, I think it was. Can't remember, but I used to live like right next to a cemetery, like directly, like my backyard was the cemetery, and we were all out at our local park, and we were all just chilling, just doing our thing. Don't remember what we were doing. I think we were just hanging out, literally just talking, having a good time. And we're like, you want to like run around the fucking cemetery? All of us are just like, yeah, fuck it, why not? So we all go into the cemetery, and we're like, let's play some hide and seek. So we literally played hide and seek in a fucking cemetery, and at some point, I'm pretty sure I hopped the fence to my house, and I was hiding with someone, and I went inside. I think I made a big bowl of ramen, right? And I literally came back outside, and the two of us were literally just sharing ramen, just chilling, waiting to be found or something, just chilling, eating some ramen like next to a tombstone.
Wait, was your house located outside of a tomb, outside of a cemetery?
Yeah, it was located like right outside. Like there was the fence like bordered the cemetery, and then after that, we straight up don't know what like happened to like half our group. Like it was like maybe like 20 minutes, and we all met up back at the park, and literally like half of us were gone. We weren't sure what happened to any of them. Literally the next day, we met up around the same time. Not around the same time, but like later the next day, like sometime in the day. And we're like, where the fuck did you guys go? And they're like, oh, we just started walking around town. I'm like, what the fuck?
Were they intoxicated? Like,
No,
what?
we were no, we were children first off. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we just started walking around town, and then I think we all just went to like so and so's place, and like half of us were so confused on like why they didn't like inform us of this, because I think we literally sat at the park for like half an hour waiting for them, just waiting for them to come back. And I think a couple of us like went back into the cemetery to see if we could find them, see if they're like a couple of people were still just like hiding or something. Nope, we couldn't find any of them.
So, just so you know, Daniel Melissa's repairing her audio.
Oh, is she?
I am
Yeah.
back, but I
Oh,
can't
welcome
promise
back.
it won't happen again.
It is cutting out right now, actually,
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
just a tiny bit. But this isn't a nighttime adventure, but it's so. I remember when me and Alyssa were little. We there's this church right next to where we used to live,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah,
where I used to live.
the one at the park.
Yeah, and it never had its gates open for some reason. So I remember that me and Alyssa would climb over the fence into the park
How old were you?
sometimes.
That is true.
How old were we? Oh,
Oh no. That had to be like many years ago.
Probably
Like elementary school age.
Probably like 5 and 7.
Damn.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
had to have
imagine
been
being like a security guard at that place and just being like, just strolling around, just seeing 2 little kids just hopping the fence. Like at that point, I'd be like, all right, fuck it.
I definitely would have been 5 or younger. Alyssa would have had to have been like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I was in like I had to have been at oldest in 1st grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was still in daycare.
You guys go way back.
Yeah.
Whoever knew those like 5 and 7-year-olds would be here at a podcast right now.
Well,
I think she's trying to
What?
say our parents know each other.
I think so. Technical difficulties.
What's been happening with Melissa the past few days?
No, like ever since we like tried recording and like streaming and stuff, like lagging, mic cutting out. It's not a win-win over here. It's just lose-lose. Jacob, what's your topics?
Hey, I said I had no topics before we started, Jaden. You know this.
I also had another one about talking about potentially like, am I the asshole posts?
Yeah, we go through a couple.
Those are kind of funny.
Actually, before we do that, I did have an important question I thought of.
What's up?
So, is a hot dog a taco, a
Oh my
sandwich?
God.
What is a hot dog?
A hot dog. A hot dog is a hot dog.
No.
Bologna is just hot dog pancakes.
I believe a hot dog is a taco. Because it has meat in the middle. It has a bun that goes around it, and only psychos split the bun. So
What do you
how
do?
is
Just
it
shove the hot dog in the bun?
Yeah.
What? Just have a corn dog at that point.
What you do is
Man's out here
like
shoving
only psycho.
wieners between buns.
I mean, only psychos split the bun all the way through, like my mom does.
Oh,
That
okay.
she tears them
I was
completely
like,
apart.
Are you just taking like loaves of bread and shoving hot dogs in them?
No, no. Like my mom, when I asked her for a hot dog once, I was like, "What are you doing?" Because she was completely tearing in half the bread.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah, you don't.
Only
You let it
OGs.
stay a
Honestly, only
taco.
OGs eat hot dogs with just slices of bread.
Does this sound okay?
Yes.
Okay, I had to switch to my phone because I'm having issues with my headset.
Okay, that's fine.
Melissa, what do you think a taco? I mean, not a taco. What do you
What do you
think a hot
taco
dog
is? Beef, lettuce, cheese.
I think a hot. Holy shit! I just dropped something. Okay, I think that a hot dog is a hot dog.
See,
That's-
same response.
You people.
You can't just classify something as a sandwich or a taco or whatever you
It's not
say.
all like black and white. There is gray area.
No, there isn't. I only see in black and white.
Jacob living in the 1960s.
That reminds me of
Who invented color?
I mean, I would assume that color always existed.
No way, you just asked who invented color. People out here in the 1960s been like, all of a sudden they blink, they're like, What the fuck is going on?
Exactly. They didn't have color before
People out here rubbing
color
dandelions
was
in their
invented.
eyes for yellow.
Just like how Newton or whatever invented gravity.
That reminds me of the question where it's like, is cereal a soup or something like that?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I don't think it is.
It's a
Because
soup if you
Milk,
have
milk is
broth
cow
in it.
broth. Milk is cow broth.
It's a soup if you have milk in it. And chocolate Swiss rolls are burritos.
I don't know if I can get I don't know if I can get behind that one. But
Look up the
milk
chocolate Swiss roll, Jaden. It's a burrito. 100.
milk is cow broth. So therefore cereal is soup.
I mean, soup doesn't have to just be broth,
No, it's broth.
but soup doesn't have to be broth. Like tomato juice, or not juice, tomato soup.
Tomato soup is tomato broth.
According, oh wait, let me
According
see.
to Google.
Oxford Dictionary. We're going back to the Oxford Dictionary.
What is milk? Cow broth.
No. Wait.
But that's not the dictionary that really matters, though. It's the Urban Dictionary.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Soup, a liquid food made by boiling meat, vegetables, etc. in water, often eaten as the first course of a meal.
Well,
Cow
that's
is
just the
meat.
wrong definition.
Cow is meat. Cow broth is milk.
Yeah, but there's not cow chunks in the milk.
Yeah, so what? It's still part of the cow.
Also, in order for it to be a soup, then it would need to be boiled. So you need
You
to
can
eat your
boil
soup
your milk.
hot. So hypothetically, oatmeal could be a soup if you make it with milk. But
Wouldn't anybody consider oatmeal a soup? Is that just
I
me?
don't know.
You know what? I'll look up what a soup is on Urban Dictionary, the only
Please
dictionary
don't.
that matters.
Please don't.
Why? It's soup. There we go. That's the definition.
Soup is fucking soup.
Watered down food. Yeah, that fits cereal.
Yeah. Watered down food. I think I'm gonna enjoy myself a burrito soup. I'm gonna water down my burrito. Oh my god. See, and this is why we're called the. This is why we're the Nit-Wits, and this is why we're invalid.
Because none of our opinions matter. So you were gonna bring up "Am I the Asshole" post?
And we do a couple of those before the end of the podcast.
I can look. Let me go on Reddit.
Reddit.
Ah, yes, the magnificent world of Reddit.
Now I want a taco.
The fuck? Do you want to water that down for a soup?
I mean, does ketchup water down hot dog?
Ketchup water.
Oh, that's the grossest stuff ever.
I drink ketchup water.
Then you are disgusting.
I usually save up ketchup water at least 3 times a week for a full cup.
Have you ever put like ketchup on something but didn't shake it well enough so it just came out as water and you didn't notice?
Oh, watered down hot dogs.
But Jaden, have you actually ever like done that?
Oh yeah,
like,
100%.
noticed?
That's
And then
the
started
definition of a
eating
watered
and
down
got
hot dog is when
grossed
you don't shake the ketchup enough, or you don't shake the ketchup at all, and then you just spit ketchup water on your hot dog, and now it's just soggy and gross.
Does that make it a soup?
My hot dog's in soup now. I'm bringing that up at my next family gathering.
Just purposely ruin your hot dog with watered
They'll be, and I'm gonna start eating. They'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And just be like, "I'm eating my hot dog soup." Well, so you got a post or not?
Almost.
How hard is it?
Almost isn't good enough.
No, he has a point. Do better.
Jaden is suffering with ligma.
What?
I think Jacob's suffering from ligma.
Can somebody explain to me what ligma is? I've heard of
My
it.
fucking balls.
Ligma is a
He's looking it up.
fictional disease associated with a death hoax orchestrated by Instagram user Ninja Hater that claimed Fortnite streamer Ninja had passed away from ligma.
Rest in peace, my boy Ninja. Oh my god.
Okay, here's one, I guess. I haven't read it yet. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister out of my house at night because she threw all of my food away?
No.
I can't. I seriously can't believe this is a thing, but my parents are really upset at me. My sister and I grew up together but aren't very close. It really wasn't from any drama. We didn't have a big fight to cause distance, but rather just have opposite personalities and interests. If I had to describe my attitude towards my sister, it would be apathetic love. Like, she's my sister, so I want her to be healthy and happy, but we just unfortunately don't hang out, call the chat, or etc. She recently received an opportunity to interview for a job near our hometown and reached out to see if she could stay with me for a week. My mother was ecstatic that my sister might be coming home finally. She moved across the country right after college and hasn't been back in almost 10 years, except for Christmas. She spends Thanksgiving with her in-laws or one-off birthday / business trip vacation.
Okay, right there. That makes her an asshole. She doesn't go to Thanksgiving with her real family.
Alright, let's just face it. Food was thrown out. Waste of food. You kicked her out because she wasted the food. No, you were not the asshole. Simple as that. Food is expensive.
Food is expensive.
And food fills the tummy.
I'm wondering why, if she's
My
staying
tum-tum feel
home,
good.
like her parents are there. If she's staying home, why can't she just stay with the parents?
You know, that's a good question. Because she didn't want to throw out the parents' food. That's why.
I'm also wondering why she threw out the food. Because what if it's, like, old?
Like Nagna.
Like, expired.
But there's some food that that like
Expired
people
like
think
Nagna.
of as old but can be eaten like months after it's expired and still be healthy and good.
So I'm just reading it. So the reason that the sister threw out the food was because, okay, so here's just the paragraph. It says, I'm not even exaggerating, or so bleh. I came home from drinks with my friends around 10 p.m. I went into my kitchen for a snack and realized that almost all of my food was gone. I'm not even exaggerating. I swear 90% of my pantry was just gone. I asked my sister, and she told me she was shocked I ate anything with preservatives and
What the fuck?
unnatural, and I was poisoning my body. So she took it upon herself to throw away everything she deemed unhealthy.
Yeah, let me just go outside and start chewing on the grass. My bad.
Oh my god, people like that just.
Oh, let me just go out in my backyard and
I
I
mean,
almost said
I already
and
think that
butcher my own
humanity
cow.
sucks, but people like that just make humanity suck so much more. Ugh.
I don't understand that. Like, I guess good for you, like being vegan, I guess, or whatever, or vegetarian. That's good for you. But if I want my 750 calories off of one little like Skittle, I'm taking my Skittle. I don't care.
What does that have to do with being vegan or vegetarian?
I was
But
just
she
saying
wasn't
because
complaining
like
about meat or anything. She was complaining about the preservatives,
yeah,
which
I
Skittles
know.
have tons of those.
Yeah. I was just thinking because like people that that talk about like the preservatives and like and it correlates with like people being like I think it's the vegan, no, vegetarian, on how like their calorie intake and all that. Like that's good for you. But when you push it on other people, that's when I'm like, all right, take a step back.
Just like
Good,
people with diets in general.
yeah. Like when people are like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm be like, leave me and my 75-pound steak alone. How about that?
75 pounds.
You should throw some lettuce on the side. No.
Now I want a duck inside of a turkey inside of a quail.
What? I don't think
Oh wait,
I don't think
that
it
order was a
I don't
little
think a
messed up.
quail. Wait,
That order was
a
a tiny
turkey
bit
won't
messed
fit
up.
inside of a quail.
I think the quail goes inside the duck, or the duck goes inside the quail. I forgot.
I think the
But
quail goes inside the duck and then the duck goes into the turkey.
yeah, that's what I want now.
This is such a cursed podcast.
But I feel like if somebody's vegan, you'll know they're vegan because like every single vegan person I've met has broadcasted the fact that they're vegan. Just like why?
I don't know. They do make like vegan restaurants. I don't know like how popular they are or how far like they're spread out. It's hard to tell when you live in a small town and you don't go go like places very much. But they do
And
have
then
vegan restaurants and everything.
I also see so many misinformed vegans like saying that milk kills cows. That like they kill a cow to make milk. I I don't understand why.
Hey
Who
yo,
Bro,
has this
like
podcast turned into a vegan hate recording?
I'm not hating on them. Like I said, good for you that you want to like look out for the animals, or if it's like a dietary thing, but don't push it on me. Like
I feel like
I have my way of living and you have yours.
a majority of like vegans and vegetarians don't actually go out and be like, you can't eat it just because I don't want to. It's just those are the ones you encounter
Yeah, which is
because
unfortunate
it's
because it sets
mostly
a
like online and stuff like that, and it sets
yeah,
a bad kind of like stereotype with them.
yeah, and
yeah, there was
that sucks for
definitely
everybody
one of
else.
those. There was definitely one of those in our school too. That's where I get my idea of vegans from. The
Yeah, and that sucks for the
because
social status of people that are like vegetarian and vegan because they are just trying to live their day-to-day life and they're not like trying to be grouped with all these people that are like doing that, like just going out telling people you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Like they're genuinely people that are out there being vegan and vegetarian that are like just dietary reasons or uh animal reasons, I guess. I don't know the word for it.
Like morality.
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Which I can respect.
yeah, I actually work with somebody who is a vegetarian just because she doesn't like the flavor of meat.
Yeah, that's also a thing is that some people just can't stand the taste of like meat and so they're just vegetarian. They get their protein a different way and that works for them.
This one sounds so stupid. Am I the asshole for using the same hair conditioner as my brother's ex?
What?
My my brother, 24 male, or my brother is 20, he's a male, 24, girlfriend broke up with him a month ago. He was really struggling, but is doing much better now. A few days ago, he noticed I used the same hair conditioner his girlfriend used, and he's asking me to put it in the bin and not use it anymore because the smell reminds him of his ex. I told him I wouldn't do it as it took me ages to find a conditioner that didn't leave my hair dry. He's pissed off at me now for quote unquote not supporting him, which honestly I just find silly. I spend lots of time talking to him, comforting him, helping him move her stuff out of the house, and now apparently I'm unsupportive because of the hair conditioner I use. Am I the asshole? I was like, what the fuck?
That sounds just like a personal problem for him. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
his issue.
Yeah, why would you care about the hair conditioner? I
can
that doesn't
understand,
Why are
make
you
sense
smelling
to
your
me.
sister's hair?
like we were it might like
Just at night crawling on the ceiling.
it reminds me, I guess, like DBT therapy. In therapy we were talking about you can have specific like smell triggers, taste triggers, like stuff like that go with trauma, and I don't know anything about his relationship, but it's not up to his sister to avoid triggering him, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's true.
Like if it's something where she's going out of her way to do it, then she'd be the asshole, but like she shouldn't have to change her just regular day-to-day life just for that.
And there's something else I don't get about that. So his sister, that's like her normal conditioner. Let's assume that's her normal conditioner that she's used for a while. Why does he associate the smell of the conditioner with his ex instead of his sister, who he's
Because
been with
Jacob,
for longer?
when you're with a girl and you're railing her from the back, you don't think of your sister.
Oh my god, no. Jacob,
Jaden.
no, Jacob, when you're with somebody, you tend to notice that they do and use. Like, for instance, there's specific colognes and stuff like that I would associate with Dalton versus other people that I've known longer. Just because I'm around him so much and I see the cologne so much and I smell the cologne so much that it's just kind of something that gets associated in my mind. And same thing with like other people.
I don't use my sense of smell, so I have no idea.
Well, it works for like other senses too. Like for instance, I've listened to songs with some of my friends. Like I have one of my friends, we listened to a specific song frequently, so it became associated even though I knew the song before I knew her.
Seems illogical to me.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good.
some people, talk to people in real life, Jacob.
Oh, ew.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap up our first episode of this podcast, I guess. With the am I the asshole with the smelling of a sister and an ex, I guess.
If you're on YouTube watching this, please tell us if there's anything you'd like to hear us
Yeah.
talk about.
Leave a
Feel free to
comment,
like,
subscribe. Yep,
Yeah.
easy. We're easy YouTubers, just like that. Done. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast and download the podcast.
What's the W code again?
Don't worry about it, because this is a community channel between the three of us, not me.
Yeah, but still.
But the W's.
We'll worry
Fine, on
about
to
that
our
later.
real sponsor,
No.
right?
Shush. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, it's gonna wrap it up. stay tuned for more episodes.